we come on the outside, now I'm gonna check my lights, lenses, reflectors, and reflective tape. I'm gonna make sure they properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, clean and illuminated with the proper color of amber to the front and side, and red to the rear. Got a light right there, clearance light here, marker light there, clearance light there. We got DOT tape all the way down the side, mud flap there, reflect on the mud flaps. Got 2 lights right there. Marker light there. ABS light, lights here, lights there, 3 lights up there, DOT tape there, DOT tape there, light right here, DOT tape all the way down the side. Marker light. We already did that reflective tape and light, so we ain't gonna do that again. Clearance light up top. Marker light right here. Headlight, lens. So now I'm gonna do my 5x5, which is my 5 functions and 5 locations. My 5 functions are the left turn signal, right turn signal, 4-way flashers, high beams, and brake lights. My 5 locations are the front of the truck, both sides of the truck, the back of the truck, both sides of the trailer, back of the trailer. That's when I would get in and do exactly what I said I'm gonna do. I hit the left turn signal, examiner's gonna give you a thumbs up. Right turn signal, examiner give you a thumbs up. 4-way flashers, examiner give you a thumbs up. High beams, examiner give you a thumbs up. Then you tell him to go to the back of the truck, do the same thing. Left, right, 4 ways, brake lights. Then you say, all right, go to the back of the trailer, do the same thing. Left, right, 4 ways, brake light. All right, so now as far as the engine compartment, we're gonna look, make sure there's no leans, and it's not leaning, and it's not leaking on the front. Now we're gonna come around to the passenger side. We got passenger side general hoses, properly mounted and secured on both ends. No abrasions, bulges, and cuts. Not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not leaking. We got the coolant reservoir, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. Filled to the manufacturer's specification, and it's not leaking. Now we're gonna go to the driver's side. On the driver's side, we have the driver's side general hoses, properly mounted and secured on both ends. No abrasions, bulges, or cuts. Not cracked, bent, or broken. Not leaking. We have a coolant reservoir, properly mounted and secured. The power steering reservoir, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. Filled to the manufacturer's specification, not leaking. We got the engine oil, properly mounted and secured. Check with a dipstick. We got the steering gearbox and hoses, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. No missing mountain bolts. And the hoses are properly mounted and secured at both ends, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. Then we got the spring mount, properly mounted and secured front and rear, not cracked, bent, or broken. We have a spring arm, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. We have our U-bolts, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, none are missing. We have our shock absorber, properly mounted and secured at both ends, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. We have our brake hose, properly mounted and secured at both ends, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, not leaking. We have our steering linkage, which is the pitman arm, the drag link, and the tie rod is back there. Properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, no missing castle nuts or cotter pins. Next, we making sure there's no contaminants within our brake drum. Then we're gonna come out to the steer tire, properly mounted and secured, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts to the tread or the sidewall. The tread depth is no less than 4/32 of an inch. Check with a tread depth gauge. It's filled to the manufacturer's specification and it's not leaking. All right, so now as far as the truck and the trailer driver side, We got the hood and mirrors, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, properly adjusted. We got our battery box. It opens and closes. The connections are not loose. No exposed wires. And there's no corrosion. The depth tank, properly mounted and secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. The cap is on tight and is not leaking from the cap or the tank. Fuel tank, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. The cap is on tight, it's not leaking from the cap or the tank. Frame and cross members, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. No missing cross members. My airlines, properly mounted and secured on both ends. No abrasions, bulges, or cuts, not leaking. Electric line, properly mounted and secured on both ends. No abrasions, bulges, or cuts, no exposed wires. Glad hand, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. The glad hand seals are in good condition. Apron, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. No visible gap between the apron and the skid plate. The skid plate is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's properly lubed. The release arm, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's in a fully locked position. Platform, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. There's no missing mounting bolts. Locking pin, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's in a fully locked position. Airline, properly mounted and secured at both ends. No abrasions, bulges, or cuts. Not leaking any air. Trailer frame and cross members, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. No holes in the trailer floor. Kingpin, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. Locking jaw, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it's fully locked around the kingpin. Landing gear, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's in a fully raised position, and handle is in the cradle. Also, is enough space between the landing gear and the mud flap so they don't hit when I turn. Last but not least, back here, we have our tandem release and locking pin, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's in a fully locked position.